series in a week. You guys can see I have my Let's Paint outfit on. I'm on my way to one of my rental units. Something I preach to all of my students is when you have a big win, diversify. You know, it helps when you have secondary income coming in, when you have those downswings. I was in the biggest downswing of my life last year, and having rents come in and things like that, Airbnbs come in, helps offset some of those costs from some of those downswings. And many of you have probably seen, or maybe you haven't, maybe this is the first time you're seeing it, Jungleman posted a challenge to all vloggers. Heads up match to any game they choose. First of all, I love this challenge. I preach a lot that there are a lot of content creators out there, and not many of them are professional poker players versus poker players, professional poker players who are content creators. And that's not like knocking content creators, because I am one myself, but there's a difference when you do things for content. Somebody I watch a lot is Ryan Felding, and you know, I've posted a few times, hey, you're betting your whole bankroll. That's usually not something you want to promote for people to do or to try while trying to play poker for a living. There are times when you're a professional poker player, well, you will have your net worth on the table, especially when you're young. I had a few instances like that, so I guess who am I to criticize, right? But it shows you what being responsible or being irresponsible, the difference between YouTube's going to end up giving me a check for a couple $1,000s at the end of the month versus I have no money coming in at the end of the month. In the past, if you went broke as a poker player, you ended up in the box. I've been in the box plenty of times. First of all, I love this challenge by Daniel, by Jungleman. I think it's great. I don't think many vloggers are going to take him up on it. Once I saw his challenge, I was like, pick me. Like, yeah, let's do it. Big O, heads up. During COVID, I played probably 40 to 60 hours of heads up Big O play a week for, I don't know, it may have only been for 4 months, but like, it was a lot. It was a tremendous amount of heads up Big O play. And yeah, I think heads up, I'm probably stronger at deuce to 7 triple draw, not pot limit variety, but deuce to 7 just limit. But I don't know, maybe we'll mix some things in there, we'll see. You know, Jungleman, I have so much respect for the guy. He's an amazing poker player, and I like that he's creative. I like that he thinks outside the box. I think this is a great challenge, and I think it's a great challenge for vloggers to display, hey, I know what I'm doing, I know what I'm talking about. And honestly, Jungleman's probably one of the best well-rounded, he's not like a Brian Rass, but he's definitely one of the best well-rounded poker players out there. So you only get better at things like this when you play people who are either at your level or even a level above. So I'm really looking forward to this match, honestly. It's a little stressful because it's like, hey, you're playing, in my estimation, you're playing against one of the great heads up players, right? Like, I watch a lot of Jungleman's heads up play with Phil Gaffon, and so I guess I've studied some of Jungleman's matches, but that's PLO, no limit hold'em. It's a little different than Big O. But yeah, there was somebody else who challenged him to a PLO 5 heads up match, which kudos to you. I can't remember who that was. But yeah, it looks like we've agreed to do a heads up match live versus online, because online apparently just poses too many conflicts of interest with me endorsing PP Poker, him endorsing the other company, yeah, online it'll just be easier to play it live. So I reached out to Tommy today, said, hey, heads up match with Joey Ingram, let's do a heads up match between me and Jungleman on Venetian Poker Live and Poker Go. I'm pretty excited about that. Like, I think it's a go. I just think, yeah, I think it'll be a good match. This is life of a grinder. I got my stuff packed up there. I've got my 2 hats, my yoga mat, my 2 laptops, my suitcase, and all of that until I pick up my first passenger. So 28 hours, Las Vegas, here I come. So we are in hour number 1 of this really long drive. Got my rose-colored glasses, I don't know, these are kind of, you know what these remind me of? So one of my viewers, you might be watching this after our stay in Denver, but one of my viewers has these huge glasses just like this, except they're like this big and they go all the way around like to the side of his head. And he has an Airbnb in Denver, and we stopped on it on the way back from Vegas back home. One jack off, or Sean and I did, who I'm gonna go pick up right now. And so that's what these remind me of. And what's funny is we're driving all the way either to Council Bluffs today and picking up Cam Amon, or at least we'll see. That's the plan so far as of last night. And then, so that's 14 hours. But, you know, we might just drive to Denver, drive all the way up to Denver and then crash there. Or we might stay at Council Bluffs tonight, Denver tomorrow, Las Vegas on Monday. Or if we drive through, we'll be there basically Sunday afternoon. Probably like Sunday evening, yeah. With all the stopping and repacking, because you got to keep in mind, right now it's just me. Eventually we're going to have Sean and Cam, and then all of their shit. So especially since Cam does not play poker, he's a musician, he's bringing all of his musical equipment to do busking. So, but I just realized, I'm like, wow, I'm on hour 1 of a 28-hour ride. You know, one nice thing about this Subaru is I can put my phone here and just talk into the camera, and I don't even have to worry about it. Since I have my sunglasses, I can focus on driving. I'm telling you, man, this is the year. My mindset is there, baby. It is there. I am in the zone. I'm looking forward to it. You know, part of the adventure is the trip from here to there. Normally when I go to Vegas, I stop in St. Louis and play either at the Horseshoe St. Louis or play at Ameristar St. Charles. My buddy, Brian, or Frobby, his situation is he can't put us up for the evening. So normally I would drive down to St. Louis, which is a little out of the way. So instead of it being like a 28-hour drive, it's usually like a 32-hour drive. Like, yeah, I know it's an extra 4 hours, but I mean, really, when you're at the point of 30 hours, an extra 4 hours is not that bad. And if you are curious, the longest I've ever driven straight through, my brother, not my brother-in-law, but my brother Daniel, when he was with us, and my nephew Shane, my mother-in-law and father-in-law were moving from San Diego to Appleton, Wisconsin, and they said that they needed help moving and that they were going to pay a moving company. And I said, as a grinder, as somebody who needs to earn money for a living, I said, well, how much is the moving company quoting you? And I think they said like $13,000. So I looked up how much it would cost to rent a truck, how much it would cost to fly 3 people one way to San Diego. And I think the cost of renting the truck was like $2,000, maybe $2,100. 3 tickets was like $1,500. And then I figured the fuel was in like $500 or $600 on the way back. So I figured all in all my expenses were $4,000 plus what I had to pay Daniel and Shane. So I called them up. I called my in-laws up and I said, hey, I can do it for $10,000. And they said, deal. And then I was like, now I got to find the workers. So my brother Daniel, he was always down for an adventure. So I said, hey bro, I'll throw you $1,000. I'll buy your plane ticket and all the food and the meals will be on me. And he was like, yeah, let's do it. And I said, but we need one more person, because I told my in-laws they had to have everything packed up. And so then I started calling people. And finally I was like, you know what? I'm like, my nephew just turned 18, a trip across America, or 19. I think he just dropped out of college, whatever. He wasn't doing anything. I gave him a call. And I said, hey, Shane, I said, you want to go for an adventure? It's going to be paid for by, and they call me Weird Uncle Josh or Crazy Uncle Josh or, you know, whatever, because I'm a little out there. So I call Shane, and Shane says, yeah, that sounds great, Uncle Josh. So I fly him out there. I fly my brother out there. I have the rent-a-truck on U-Haul. We fly there, get a taxi to the Airbnb. Now we're in San Diego, and when we get up in the morning, I say, hey guys, I know where we're gonna go to breakfast. Now I had been in San Diego a few times because my wife's in-law, my wife's mom and her stepdad were there. So I had been there a few times. If you're ever in San Diego, one of the best breakfast spots in the world is a place called Breakfast Republic. And oh my God, they have an orange juice machine at Breakfast Republic where when you order orange juice, they push a button, it takes the whole orange and it like peels it and squeezes the orange right in front of you. And those oranges are like perfectly ripe, okay? Absolutely amazing. So we get up in the morning and I say to my brother Daniel, I said, hey bro, I said, and Shane, I said, you guys know I'm a foodie, right? Like obviously I have a few extra pounds. It does not look like I miss too many meals. I get what you're saying here. And I said, how would you like to have one of the best breakfasts of your life, bro? And, you know, Shane was like, Uncle Josh, don't threaten me with a good time. I look it up on my phone. We luck out because we're in downtown San Diego. We were like 10 blocks from the U-Haul is where I booked the Airbnb. Or maybe it was like 5 blocks. Well, come to find out, Breakfast Republic was only like 8 blocks up. And I was like, guys, this is like the perfect spot. We're going to go to Breakfast Republic. We're going to go to the U-Haul place. Then we're going to pack our, we're going to pack our bags and get going. So we do all that. We go out to breakfast, and my brother was very, I don't want to say plain, but when it came to breakfast, he liked either steak and eggs or he liked an American style breakfast, bacon, eggs, toast. And I remember he ordered something plain like that, and I ordered, I think, like chilaquiles, and then my nephew ordered something, and then we ordered a pitcher of orange juice. And my brother was like an orange juice connoisseur. He absolutely loved orange juice. It was like his favorite all-time drink. And yeah, he drank that orange juice, and he started drinking his first glass, and he downed the whole glass in front of me. And he goes, we're gonna have to get another pitcher of orange juice. And I ordered it. It was that good. So if you're ever in San Diego, or you're ever in California and you find that there's a Breakfast Republic out there, go to it. Don't hesitate. It's not even a question. Okay, take it from this fat guy, this fat foodie on this advice. Just go. So yeah, we packed up all of my in-laws' stuff in San Diego, and it was a 26-foot U-Haul truck with my brother, myself, and Shane. And or it was myself, my brother, and Shane, because we had that order. We agreed we were just going to do 4-hour shifts, drive all the way through, right? And yeah, my nephew Shane was 21, because I remember we were driving through Oklahoma. We were on day 1, or maybe we were on day 2. Yeah, we were on day 2, because day 1 we drove until we got to like the petrified forest or somewhere, because we had to load the van. So we load the van up. We left at like, I want to say it was like 8 o'clock at night. I took the first shift. Yeah, Daniel took the second shift. So we left at about 6 o'clock at night. I took the first shift. Daniel took the second shift. Shane takes the third shift. And let me tell you, you don't put a 21-year-old behind a 26-foot truck, towing a car, by the way, at 2 o'clock in the morning to go through mountains. Because I fell asleep through it, but when I woke up, homeboy was going like 85 miles an hour with a 26-foot U-Haul truck with a tow car behind it through the mountains. And I woke up and I'm like, Shane, you need to slow the fuck down. In any case, so that morning when it was my turn, I drove like another hour and a half, and then we fell asleep at like the petrified forest to the sun coming up, because we all needed to sleep because we just got done loading up the whole trailer. So we drive, we do our 4-hour shifts, and I think we're on the 3rd or 4th hour, and we get to Oklahoma, and I'm like, all right, boys, let's take a little break and go play some poker, you know, just to get the blood flowing again. And so we take a break at the casino. I show Shane how to shoot craps for the first time. I play a little bit of poker. We only are there for like 2 hours. We get up, we leave. Our next stop, we stop in Kansas City, where I end up playing poker for a few hours while my brother Daniel and Shane go to the movies. And of course I pay for it as being the host, and I'm the guy who's getting, I think, $4,000 actual profit after all expenses. And Shane and Daniel are each getting $1,000, which, by the way, $1,000 for 3 days work is great fucking work. But this is like life of a grinder, just making extra money when your bankroll is low. We're just making extra money because you're like, fuck it, I know I can make like $4,000 by doing this deal, and it's going to take me like 5 days, and then one day I'm going to have a great memory, right? Not just a great memory, but a really good fucking story. Our next stop was Kansas City, and my brother Daniel takes my nephew Shane out to Ford versus Ferrari. Now, I didn't see that movie with my brother. That's probably the one thing I regret, is I went and played poker. So I kind of regret playing poker, because that movie now will forever be a moment with my nephew Shane and my brother Daniel. And, you know, it's making me realize moments like that. Like, there's always more time for poker, man. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm going out to Vegas. I'm grinding. It's June. I'm actually looking forward to it. You know, I've been home with the wife for a month. Everything for this trip, I feel like this is much different. Like, I feel things approaching. I don't know. It's like a quick, you know, I had a philosophical class when I was at the school, Notre Dame. So for those of you who don't know, I did graduate from the University of Notre Dame. So when I was a student at Notre Dame, there's a philosophy class that I took. My degree was in government and international studies, or poli-sci, or pre-law. Okay, means I can argue really well. You know, my first wife really loved that. And but when I went there, I remember reading. It was in, I can't remember if it was Aristotle's book. I believe it was in Aristotle's book, The Republic. And don't quote me on this, because it's been a long time since I've read that book, and I don't talk about these weird things very often, but
we got a fucking 29-hour drive, and I don't even know how much of this I'm going to use. But in Aristotle's book, I believe, called The Republic, he talks about philosopher kings. And he says some people are just born to be philosopher kings, or some people are born knowing that they're going to have a positive impact on the world, or like change the world, or influence a large number of people. And I remember, and this was like a 300 level or 400 level philosophy course. And I remember when we were talking about that in class, I said that's absolutely 100% true. And I think the class was made up of 17 students, because it was a senior thesis class. The whole class was based on 2 papers. You wrote 1 paper as a midterm, 1 paper as an end. It was a senior thesis class. I believe Notre Dame made you take 2 senior thesis classes, and your whole grade is like 1 or 2 papers, and that's it. Getting back to the story, and I remember we were discussing the Republic, and I said that's absolutely 100% true, and the other 17 students said, well, what do you mean? How can you base that on truth? I said the people who know that they're going to bring about the greater good, or the people that they know are going to have a positive impact in the world, or change the world in a positive manner, I said, we just know. And they said, what do you mean you just know? I said, I just know I'm going to do that someday. I said, I am tooting my own horn, given this was when I was 21 years old, maybe even 20. I think I was 20. Yeah, I was 21 years old saying this. So, when you're 21, you want to take over the world. But, I said, I know I'm going to have that. And, what's funny is, I didn't realize that positive impact on the community, or having a change in the world, would come to fruition, I guess, until just now, realizing it now with my channel. Kind of having a little bit of an epiphany. Well, I'm going to let you guys go, because I'm going to think on this one, but let me know what you guys think down in the comments down below. Am I just fucking full of it? Have I had a positive impact on your bankroll? Have I had a negative impact on your bankroll? Is the weed just way too good this morning? I don't know. You guys tell me. I probably took up way too much time on day 1, or hour 1. Oh, God. Yeah, I was thinking day 1 on this 28-day drive. No, it's a 8-hour drive. 20 minutes, so I'll just make probably hour number 2 brief and short. So I'll talk to you in another minute or 2. For hour number 2, we are... Oh my God, is that Brent motherfucking Francis? Is that Brent Francis? That's hour 2, folks. So hour 2, Brent's flying out in about a week. He just wanted to drop off a bag for me to take to Vegas. I don't even know what's in it. Don't even care. Doesn't matter. It's going to end up going on the top of the car here in a little bit when I go pick up Sean. So, all right, here we are, hour 4, and we are picking up none other than one jack off, aka house bitch.
Yep.
Are you excited to be in the car with me for 25 hours, Sean?
We'll see.
We'll see.
We've done it before.
We have done it before.
I've ridden with a lot worse people than you.
This is true. I'm pretty easygoing.
Luckily,
So
we get along.
Well, we're gonna finagle this and make it work. So we're on hour, I don't know, it's 8:30, and we have Cam with us. So we got our bag all packed. Now we're going to be heading out. So Cam, are you excited to join the trip to Vegas?
Oh, I'm super excited.
He's super excited. Sean, are you excited that we have somebody else with us?
Totally excited.
Totally excited.
Super tired.
We're exhausted, but we've got another 16 hours to go, and yeah, we're gonna see what happens. So we'll get there. It is, what time is it? Like 12:30. It is 12:30 in the morning. Is that right, Cam?
Yeah.
12:30 in the morning. We have decided we are driving through. If you've never been to Nebraska, I'll just tell you right now, don't bother, just fucking skip it, okay? Because there's really, like, there's fucking corn, and yeah,
Cows.
there's moo cows.
We're supposed to be in Vegas by like 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
So, we're making up some good time, people. I mean, this is the life of a grinder, baby. We got 4 free nights at the MGM, and then we have 3 free nights at the Venetian, so we're here a week ahead of time before the series starts. So that way we can get warmed up here a week ahead of time before we get our Airbnb. So that way we can get accustomed to the time zone change, the weather. So we are in the Rockies. We're past Colorado. Been driving all night. We rotated a little bit. We pulled over, took a nap. Woke up to the cops asking us if we were breaking into a place, which was kind of weird. But yeah, like, there's the mountains in the background, man. We are in Denver. We are 9 hours out. We are hour 19 out of the 28. 19 down, 9 left to go. We are in hour 24, I think. I think we're going to be there in 3 or 4 hours of 28. When you're driving through Utah, it's really important to remember how full your gas tank is, because we passed this gas station, had about 60 miles left, and there was no gas station for fucking 90 miles. So when you guys are making that drive across Utah, don't forget to stop and fuel up. You know what? I was just telling Sean how you realize you've reached the age of being old when you realize you can look out. Look at these fucking views, man. Like,
I'm gonna take a picture.
in Utah, the Zion National Park. Oh my God. Like, to see all these colors, it's fucking gorgeous. Like, I remember coming here, I can't remember if it was last year or the year before, driving in, or was it 3 years ago, but I remember the sun was just coming up over this, and it was almost the same time of day, and I was like, just fucking beautiful. In case you guys don't know, we have a heads-up match agreed to with myself and Jungleman, since this is not live. You know, this is the nice part. So we agreed to do a heads-up match, live versus online, because we didn't want to have any drama with the online. He made a challenge to any vlogger that they could pick whatever game they wanted to, and he would agree to play them heads up, so that way we can separate the quote-unquote content creators from the true poker players. I was absolutely one of the first people who accepted. And yeah, we were messaging back and forth, and then because of that, Bart Hansen watched a couple of my vlogs, said he liked them, and we're going back and forth on maybe doing something with Bart. So
Nice.
some good shit in the works.
Let's fucking go, baby.
Yeah. So, first session of Vegas in the books. We ended up having, we were up about 500-600 with about 20-30 minutes to go. Look down at ace 10 jack double suited in the small blind. It's just small blind versus big blind. I mean, I don't typically chop, and I don't even think the table was full anyways. The table was pretty tight, but I potted, he repots it. I make it 90, he makes it 270. you know, I repot it, we get it all in for $11.40. He has ace, ace, king 4 with 1 suit. I have ace, ace, 10 jack, flops 3, 7 jack. Neither one of us has the suit, even though I'm double suited. It's 2 clubs, but that's the suit he does not have. 3, 7 jack, turns a 4. River is a king. So, lose a $2,300 pot right off the get-go. Very next hand, I had the other 200 bucks I got in my stack or in my pocket, so I have 500 effective. I raised pre-flop 3 callers or 2 callers, flops queen jack 4 rainbow. I have ace queen jack 4. I lead, he pots. The other player in the hand decides to call for 180, going with it. I mean, if I call, I've got 325 behind, and with 325 behind, adding having a 1-to-1 SPR, I'm not folding much. So I decide he could have a set of 4s, could have a set of queens, could have a set of jacks, even though I have queen jack 4. It's likely he's got like ace king 10, maybe, you know, maybe, I don't know, maybe something like that. So we push all in, he snaps, girl behind snaps. Ends up being basically a $2,000 pot. And he has pocket queens. And the turn's a 5 and the river's a 3. And of course the dealer says, ooh, ace deuce is good, which I didn't say anything to the dealer, but the dealer really shouldn't say anything like that. But yeah, we're down 1,000 after the first session. Normally my first session, if I win, I end up losing for the trip. If I lose, I end up winning for the trip. So hopefully this stays with good tradition. And 20 minutes to go, fumbling, I guess. Guess I could have gotten up and walked away up 500-600, had a nice breakfast. Instead, we're stuck 1,000. Look, it's the exact opposite of driving Miss Daisy. Well, this is some life of a grinder shit right here. Here we have our Tostitos, our bananas, some tuna fish. We have our cooler down here. So stupid life of a grinder update. Bought into a $600 tournament 4 times. Lost all 4 bullets. Then lost about $400 in cash. But you know what? When I got this guy over here, see it in the background. I might be stuck 2,800, but this is worth it. This is the life of a grinder shit right here. Like, I was just thinking, Sean came up with the idea of going out to eat at fucking midnight. What is the ghetto dinner for poker players all around the United States? You guessed it. Denny's. Good. Bad decisions make good choices. Or bad decisions make good stories. There we go. I'm fucked up.